Hey, Joy, it is so wonderful to finally connect.
Brilliant. Thank you for having me on Tokes. It's an absolute pleasure to be here.
I'm excited. I can't wait to get into the nitty-gritty, to get to know you better.
Joy Aboderin is the style director and founder of Potential You Limited, an established 16-year style and image consultancy for professional women. She trained twice at the London College of Fashion as a personal stylist and fashion buyer. Her passion for style, together with comprehensive training, has equipped her to style and transform thousands of women. Her career started in the city where she worked as an accountant. Unsatisfied and unfulfilled with her job, she quit her 13-year city career, sold her house, and followed her dreams to birth Potential You. Joy is passionate about empowering women through style and enabling you to love the skin you're in unapologetically. Her style and image consultancy, Potential You, offers an array of personal styling solutions, color analysis, body shape analysis, personal and online styling, wardrobe detox, and management. Joy is also a style, fashion, and entrepreneurship lecturer and speaker. She delivers engaging sold-out style masterclasses and workshops across the world. She has worked with the likes of Google, BBC, ITV, Channel 4, Sky, Nichols, Selfridges, Harrods, Virgin, the Mayor of London office, law firms, investment banks, and celebrities. She has lectured at Goldsmiths University of London, ESR London, London College of Style, and world-renowned London College of Fashion. Joy loves sharing her expertise and experience with the next generation of stylists and entrepreneurs. Giving back gives her a massive buzz and fills her heart. She believes in the powerful words of Maya Angelou, which says, "When we learn, teach." She volunteers at a community kitchen, a charity that feeds and supports and clothes the disadvantaged. She also led a women's charity for 3 years prior called One London Sisterhood. Joy is passionate about women, and she believes we are all wonderfully made by God.
And I was thinking before I came on, just wondering, I remember the first time I met you, and that, yes, I do, but I don't think we really connected then. But then I don't remember the second time, which must have been where we connected, and I can't remember. So the first time was at Urban Synergy.
Oh, really? Oh, my goodness. That was 8 years ago. Was many, many years ago. Was that at one of the schools?
So that
Oh, in Montpellier.
we were mentoring. Exactly. And I remember, and what there was something you said that struck me that I never forgot. And you told me that you were always learning. You said, always learning. I'm always going on courses. I'm always improving myself. And I remember thinking to myself, I need to learn. I need to do a bit more.
That's so funny. That sounds like me. I just did a course last week, actually. Yeah, I like to learn. I like to expand my knowledge in the areas of my expertise. Definitely. Yeah, yeah.
It's good. No, it's really, really good. And you're clearly an expert and you've done wonderful things which we'll get to talk about. But before we go into Potential You, what were you like as a child?
I'd probably have to ask my mum and my dad. I'm the first of four girls.
Okay.
Um, my childhood in Nigeria was so I was born and bred in the UK. And then when I was about 2, my parents took me and my immediate sister to Nigeria. My parents came here to study, they fell in love, and then after them they got married, then they went back to Nigeria. My childhood was really idyllic, if I'm honest. It was really just 2.4 children, a lovely home. My dad will travel to New York to buy us dresses. We would do hairdressing on his hair. We would travel a lot as children. So we did Paris, would have wake up in the middle of the morning, have baguettes with my dad. Uh, we would go to the States. So childhood was very idyllic, yeah,
Oh,
and fun. And we would be on like kids' fun shows. It was good. It was good. Very good. Pleasant memories of childhood.
that's nice. I think that always forms a great foundation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was good. It was good. I also remember playing on my granddad's farm. My granddad had a farm in Nigeria, and we had the best fun turning cans of milk into little cars and just having fun with my cousins. Yeah, had lots of fun. Lots of fun. Childhood.
Where were you guys?
Pardon?
Where in Nigeria were you?
So we were in Lagos.
Okay.
Well, we're in Lagos. Yeah.
It's funny how that type of childhood where you just, there's no restriction, you just play. Because I'm picturing little Joy on the farm and just start playing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. And my mum and my dad dressed us the same, dressed me and my sister the same until we got to about 12. And we were like,
When
"Oh,
I'm close in age, you and your sister.
yeah, it's a year apart, a year, a month, and a day." But my childhood brings back lots of joy,
That's
uh, freedom, fun. Yeah, and just being a child. Yeah,
oh, that's
carefree.
nice. Nice, happy memories. It's always good direct communication. And so, how old were you when you moved from Nigeria back to the UK?
So I was about 7, 8.
Okay.
So then we went to primary school, came to primary school in the UK, got bullied being African and having a Nigerian accent. Uh, Never let the bullies get the better of me. I've always been confident.
Uh,
Um, yeah, and I think then you just grew into adulthood, you know. Went to secondary school. I was really great at sports. Uh, Loved netball, athletics, and yeah. And then adulthood came upon you, and then you realized how wonderful your childhood was.
Right. Always a story, and you just kind of like, okay, I really had it good, and I didn't even.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Do you see yourself as more Nigerian or more British, or kind of somewhere in between?
That's so interesting. Before I got married, I thought I was really Nigerian. Then I married a real Nigerian man.
Uh,
Um, well, I would say that. So I've lived in the UK most of my life, minus the 5 years when we were in Nigeria. So I would say I was more British Nigerian. I think because that's the environment I've been brought up in. But we have strong Nigerian values. I understand the language. I make the food. I cook the food. We travel to Nigeria. So I'd probably say maybe 60-40. 60% British, 40% Nigerian. If you ask my husband, he'll probably say 70-30. But I think that you're a product of your environment, aren't you?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would say I was more British.
Mm. It's funny, even as I ask that question, I think about Nigerians who are born and raised in Nigeria, but then they're raised with very English values or Western, I should say. They're raised with Western values and raised in a Western way to the point where they don't even understand the language and so on and so forth. And you are right, people are a product of their environment, regardless of where they are. I grew up in Benin. So I grew up in Benin City because my dad was in the military and, they kind of move around a bit. And I knew, I never felt like I was Yoruba, which is my tribe, but we both have the same tribe. I think we do. We do, don't we? After
We do. Yeah.
first name doesn't keep that with you. Your surname does, but that's you're married now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny how I remember as a child, not really realizing that I was even Yoruba because it doesn't help that I don't have a Yoruba surname. My maiden name is of Portuguese descent. So I grew up a little bit confused. So
So do you see yourself as more Nigerian or British?
definitely Nigerian.
Did you live more in Nigeria or the UK?
Well, now I've spent more time in the UK, but I was born here just like you. And when I was little, I was born in Scotland. And when I was little, my parents moved back to Nigeria. And I grew up there until I was 17 and England.
So your formative years were there, weren't they?
Yeah. And I went to boarding school as well.
So wow. I've heard the stories. My cousins have told me the stories. They were often threatened by my mum that she will send us to boarding school in Nigeria. Yeah.
Oh my,
It's good. Was it good?
I'm happy I had the experience. I wouldn't put my child through it. It like to a military boarding school. At the time I went, the civilian were in power, and then by the end of my first year, the military had taken over. And it suddenly, so it was always a military school, it was command secondary school, and it was a school set up. It wasn't even supposed to be military in that sense. It was for children of military personnel. But then once the military took over the rule of Nigeria, the school changed into a proper military school. And yeah, and it became harder. Plus, I was in the north. So I schooled in Kaduna State, which is in the north of Nigeria. Going there was my first introduction to Hamatan. I'd never even heard the word before. And
Now,
cold, dry weather that's dusty, and your eyebrows will be dusty by 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and the edges of your hair would be red dust. So there was all of that, and then there was dealing with the seniors. One of my memories was when one memory I have was when at the end of my first, so I think it was end of the first term of my first year, my mom came to see me because my family lived in the south, and she said, "How you finding it?" And I said, "Oh, I start moaning about the early morning drills um and the seniors and this, that, and the other." And she said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "Mom, I want to I want to go to Command Lagos because I'll be closer home." And she said, "The problem is that no matter what boarding school you go to, the issues are going to be the same. You're going to have the same seniors. You're going to have the same bad food. Why don't you just deal with what you know than try around?" And till this day, that piece of advice serves me because business, as you know, can be tough. And it's had moments where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think, well, what I do, it is going to be tough. So I might as well just deal with what I know than go looking for something else.
yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that your mum's advice was great because when I listen to what my cousins say, and they've been to boarding school in different parts of Nigeria, one in Jos, another one in Lagos. Yeah, they are the same. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. But then it does prepare you for life. You're I don't know. I think that boarding house makes you really, really tough. At least my school did. Um, it makes or breaks you because I know people who went and they didn't have a pleasant experience. Not, but they came out still feeling hurt by their experiences. And you can see the effects. You can still see the effects of it today. So I guess that's Nigeria. But then, so how did you went into accounting? What made you choose that career path?
or being of Nigerian descent, you have to they expect you to have all these doctors, lawyers, accountants, engineers. So I do recall my dad throwing me up as a child saying, "Okay, you'll be an accountant." I was good at maths. So I've still quite a logical brain. So I became the accountant. I started working in accounts once, actually part-time when I was at university, I remember. And then once I finished university, I then had a first proper job with an oil company in accounting. And then I progressively went up the ladder, um, worked in accountancy for 13 years, had my own office, traveled, had teams in 3 different continents. But I just found it progressively unfulfilling. And I just thought, "Ah, I can't do this forever," because the time difference was quite vast. So India are always in the office first. So I'd have to be in the office first, really early. And then obviously the UK hours. And then the States would be in there later because they're behind. So they would book meetings up. Their 5 o'clock was my 10 o'clock. So I was always working and my work-life balance was non-existent to the point that would go on holiday with the family over the festive season. I'd have to be the one coming back on my own to make sure I met month-end deadlines. And after a while, I just thought I can't do this forever because it's the same thing. Like you said, in different organizations, that's how the cookie crumbles. And then I remember that in 2013, I remember coming home to new property and just not enjoying it, coming home really late in the early hours of the morning. And I felt like God telling me what to do, but I was scared because accounting was all I'd ever done. And I thought, oh, what am I going to do? So I wrote a letter of resignation. They didn't want me to leave. So they gave me some nice payment. Uh, I then quit my job the following year. And during that time, I also went to the London College of Fashion. I trained as a personal stylist and I loved it. I started styling like my PAs, my friends for their weddings, and I loved how it made them feel really confident. So the following year, I quit my job and then I started Potential You. And we've been in business for 16 years and counting.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, that's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So have you always had a flair for fashion? Because um your style is just absolutely beautiful, and you know what I love about your style? It's unique and it's you. I love the fact that you have a you in your business name, but it's uniquely you. Like it doesn't look trendy, like in the sense that you're following a trend or anything like. And you'll tell us a bit more about how you style your clients, because I really can't wait to get to that. And I confess that before I came on, I was like, "What do I wear? I'm interviewing you."
No judgment, Totes. No judgment. You look lovely. Monochromatic.
Bless you.
Is that a waistcoat? Yeah. No, no judgment. No judgment at all.
So why fashion? Like, had you always had a flair for it?
Think that when we were growing up in Nigeria, if I think back, my parents had businesses and my mum always put herself well together. She always dressed well. She was always confident. She always presented herself well. And I love the relationship between how you dress yourself and how it made you feel confident. So I think that's where it started from. And then I just started styling friends for weddings and my PAs. And I just love how that relationship was just really great with how you put yourself together affects how you feel about yourself, how you present yourself. And it really, really lifted a lot of women. So I really like that feeling.
That's amazing. So do you have a formula that you use? Because I don't know if I can tell, some people, I guess some stylists, you can always tell when you look at their clients, when you say this person styled them, you can tell. Do you have a formula that you use, or do you kind of go more with a personality? How do you,
Yeah.
I have no clue about that. Well,
Good. You do look good, Tex. You always look great. First of all, thank you for the compliment prior to this question. I think for me, style starts first of all. So it's a three-tiered approach that I have with my clients. Style starts of all from finding out who the woman is. Who are you? What is your personality? I never style a client I haven't met virtually, or haven't met via Zoom, or met in person. For me, understanding who the client is really important. So we have three tiers of how we style clients. We do like a style questionnaire where you fill it out, and then we have a meeting, either virtually or in person. Who are you? What's your personality? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's your lifestyle? And then we then look at color. So we analyze our client's colors, because wearing the right colors gives you an effervescent glow. And then we analyze your body shape, which then figures out what is your body shape and what clothes will actually suit you. So styling is always about the individual. The woman is the most important part of the process. Who are you as a woman? Are you a busy mom? Are you a business person? Are you a professional? And then building a capsule wardrobe around your lifestyle, incorporating the best colors for you and the best shapes for your body. So it's always a very tailored one-to-one personal consultation. Very important. Yeah. I've had so many proposals. Can you style me? We haven't met. We haven't had a conversation. How do I know what you're doing? So it's like styling somebody that is receiving awards in the glamorous gowns. And actually, you're a mum of two. You've got two children that you're taking to school. Your wardrobes are very, very different. So it's all about the woman. So personality, color, body shape. Then we do the styling.
that's so interesting. Wow, very insightful. And very similar to how we work at the baby cot shop as well, where we design nursery rooms. We meet meet the clients as well, find out what their lifestyle is. Are you having a nanny? Do you like traditional? And seeing their home actually as opposed to, yeah, seeing their existing home, because what the looks like now gives us a clue into what they would want the
Yeah.
like.
Definitely. So we do a lot of wardrobe consultations. So after we've analyzed your colors and your body shape, most clients want us to review and declutter their wardrobes and manage their wardrobes. And what I found is you get an essence of who the woman is and what her personality is by the decor in her home, how she's decorated everything, the pieces in her wardrobe, find out what she likes, what she doesn't like. So yeah, being in the client homes is a great way of also determining who they are and how you can then create style that actually works for them.
So do you then have so do you work with clients, for example, someone's got an Oscar nomination or she's got an Oscar party, you'd style them for the evening. Do you do like ad hoc styling even though yes, you've met them and everything, or would it typically be uh just tell me how you work. Like I've come to you, I'm this Hollywood A-list star starring in what's the
Inevitable, my clients are ordinary people. I prefer styling ordinary people. I've worked with celebrities and I do have some, but my heart is with helping ordinary women feel and look extraordinary. So that's not really my approach. So when a client comes to us, there are two ways they can work with house. You can have a style analysis, which is your colors and your body shape, or you can have a complete style revamp, which is your colors analyzed, your body shape analyzed, your wardrobe reviewed and decluttered, and then the creating the style, the personal styling side of it, doing the shopping, putting the looks together. But most of my clients are ordinary women, professionals, middle class professionals, high income, high earners, women. I would say most of them are ordinary women. Yeah.
So do you then how does it work? Say that had the consultation, you've done their wardrobe, you've decluttered, you've done the shopping and everything. Are they allowed to then continue shopping for themselves? For example, if even if they have you, I don't know, on retainer, for example, and they go out to Selfridges or wherever, like, would they be like, "Oh, this is a nice shirt. I want to pick."
Well, to be honest, some clients just want, most of my clients are loyal clients. So we have like a membership club, which is called the Exclusive Star Club. Once they've worked together and we're happy, most of my clients will then become regular clients. They'll book a package where we style them for the whole year. And there's 4 levels. There's black, platinum, gold, and silver. And then you'll decide how many times a year you want to see me. So most of my clients will come back. So it's generally seasonal. So when it comes to spring, summer, we'll sort out your wardrobe and then we'll shop for you. And then again, holidays, um, and then obviously seasonal, festive season, autumn, winter. So it really depends on what your needs are. But yeah, most of my clients are return loyal clients, which I'm grateful for. But you do also get the individual client that just wants help once, or somebody that wants a treat. It could be a husband buying his wife a gift certificate that we have and just wants a bit of help with her style. It could be somebody that is, I've got a client from the States that has a huge wardrobe and struggles with having to put looks together. And she kind of booked a package for that. So yeah,
Okay,
it's all about hearing what the client's needs are and then determining what works. But we love loyal clients. Then you get to build a proper relationship because your wardrobe evolves through the seasons, through your needs. I had a client that was helping her with her dating outfit. She was going through a divorce, so we're getting her some date wear outfits. Then she got married, sorted out her wedding, and then she got pregnant. Then we sorted out her maternity wear, and then they moved to the countryside. And then we talked about her kind of country mom outfit. But as women, as humans, our lives evolve and your wardrobe should evolve as well. Same thing. I don't dress like how I dressed when I was an accountant because I'm completely in a different industry. So it's very much about around your lifestyle needs. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Do you have anything, what inspires you? And this is like, again, still on the fashion side. Do you have a muse? Do you have something that inspires you, that moves you to work the way you do?
I think it's a love for women, a love for confident women, trying to understand them and trying to get them to what their goals are, helping women to understand that as they are wonderfully made. You don't need to be skinny. You don't need to do anything evasive to look great. And that my team and I can create a style that works for you. You don't have to change.
That's amazing. That's amazing. How do you balance the admin side of your business or the non-fun side and the creative side?
Automation, pay for lots of things and having assistants as well. So I've got assistants that help, but I wouldn't be able to do this without them. And lots of automation. I've learned that in business. It's very, very important. So we don't need to create invoices. Everything is automated, but you pay for automation when you automate your business. A client goes on the website and books something. Nobody needs to email them. Everything is through automation. And I find that really helps as well. But the creative side is really understanding the client and helping them to get to where they are and where they want to get to, dress them for where they want to get to.
What sort of challenges do you have? Or you think of a challenge that made you?
That was a good one. So prior to COVID, all of my style consultations were in person. Everything, color analysis, wardrobe detox, body shape analysis, personal shopping, everything was in person. Husband had been saying, "Oh, you should go online." And I was like, "No, I like working with clients in person, da, da, da." Then COVID landed. My late great mentor used to say that in times of crisis, you either crumble or you get creative. Thankfully, we went for the latter. So we signed up to Zoom, the professional package. And then I started running masterclasses, star masterclasses during COVID. And it was amazing. They were sold out. We did things on dopamine dressing, how to dress to make you feel good, how to declutter your wardrobe, how to and I had pieces been sent in for us. We did fashion shows, we did the collections, and it was great because it was fun. So I'd come on with music, we'd have Q&As. It was just very, very uplifting. And I really thank God for that because it was very much, I would not have had a business if I didn't pivot. And then from that, I got lots of international clients. And most of my international clients pre-COVID, I'd have to travel. But now most of my international clients, Morocco, Middle East, parts of Africa, lots of clients in the States are all virtual. It saves them money and it saves me time. And we just zoom in and sort out clients' wardrobes. So I would say that COVID was definitely a crossroad, but thankfully we chose to get creative and it's been really beneficial because my business now is both virtual and in person. So yeah.
That's really good. No, that COVID it did a number on so many people. I remember having to go into the boutique and bring down, furniture and bring down Moses baskets and bedding and doing all the packaging with my house. It was just all over the place, but it was still, because I guess we're e-commerce, which we were already online anyway. It wasn't much of a switch for us, but it did make me, it prepared me for one thing with business is that business is uncertain in many, you just don't, not uncertain, rather, it's unpredictable and be unpredictable. So you always have to be ready to pivot when
Yep, definitely. I think it's important to know what's happening in the economy, current affairs, and being able to adapt and be flexible in business, understanding what people want, listening to your clients as well, and being adaptable. So I'm thankful for that. COVID was tragic, but it also allowed us to pivot and to understand that technology is important. So one of the next projects is to look at how we can use AI in our business, technology, because it's not an area that I'm good at. And I'm not going to really have a passion for tech, but then I'll just get somebody that will help me with that area of things. So yeah, being adaptable in business and pivoting is pivotal.
yeah, it is. You mentioned a mentor of yours, so you had a mentor. How important is mentoring in business? How have you found it to be?
When I first started, I tried to find mentors, but it was very, very difficult because I was one of the first people that started doing personal styling, image consultancy. So it wasn't easy to find a mentor. And I wouldn't say that I have a mentor for my personal styling business.
Okay.
But I would say that mentorship is important. I'm a trained mentor and I mentor, but I have mentors in other areas of my life spiritually. I also lecture freelance as well. I have mentors in those areas. When I first started my business, it was very difficult, but I also think you can have um, long distance remote mentors that don't know that you're their mentees that you can learn from. So I'm always kind of learning, always looking at ways to develop or better the business in that sense. So it can be somebody like Stephen Bartlett, it can be somebody like Oprah, It can be somebody like Myron Golden. There's lots of people out there that you can learn from as well. So yeah,
Amazing. I agree with you. My number one mentor is Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, and she has been a mentor for years, and I've never met her. She doesn't or anything like that, and I do agree with you. Do you read a lot? Do you read a lot of books?
I tried to, but I use a lot of Audible as well because when I'm driving, sometimes I have to drive quite far for clients. So generally have books that I read by hand when I'm on holiday on a nice beach, and they are non-fiction. Um, but I try to do a lot of Audible, and also YouTube is really good for learning just basic things as well. So I try to use a lot of Audible and to read.
I do Audible as well. But I normally over Christmas time I read fiction. That's my treat for myself. Like I would switch off from work and read fiction. This time around I have a book someone gifted me, which I still haven't finished because I just felt like so much was calling for my attention. I have so many books, business books that I need to get through, but Audible because I'm in the car a lot as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So I finished reading. What did I just finish reading? I can't remember the name, but it would, I think 7 Habits of a Highly Effective Person.
Oh right, Stephen.
Yeah, that was really good. I'm reading another one on how to make offers. I think £1 million offers.
Hamilzy, right?
Yeah, so that's what I'm currently reading. I know I've finished Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. That's not business. I think that's more of a life thing. So yeah,
So, yeah, no, it's absolutely important because one of the realizations I arrived at was there's always going to be something to do work-wise in business, and you can't learn everything from your business. You've got to broaden your landscape, in your intellectual landscape, and reading is certainly one way to. And I love Myron Golden as well for all.
I think it's just practical as well.
How do you deal with moments of doubt and uncertainty?
Ooh, I feel like I feel like it's as I've matured, I feel like it's a part of life. I think when you're young, you often think that those seasons will just pass. But I think my faith, my trust in God, uh, being resilient naturally, firstborn, but my faith keeps me grounded, and my faith gives me hope, gives me trust in God, um, because life is not easy, by any means. But I would say my faith in God, knowing that I'm loved, knowing that His plans for me are good, and just trusting that things will get better and doing what I can do. Uh, so yeah, my faith in God, definitely.
No, that's good. No, we always it does it's the same, we share the same Christian faith, and people ask me a lot because I share a lot on resilience and my business journey and the ups and downs of running a business and so on. And I can only ever say it's my faith.
Yeah, no, definitely. That keeps you sane. That keeps you still going. That keeps you still hoping. That keeps you strong. Oh, definitely. It's definitely not a human thing. It's definitely supernatural.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your superpower?
Confidence.
Ah, I love it. What's confident?
Confidence. For me, confidence is knowing that your worth, your value, knowing that it's not about comparing yourself with anybody else. It's not about anybody else's journey. It's not about looking and thinking that this person's doing something, so I have to do it. It's not about putting your value in things that are not of substance, not in material things, not in financial things, not in material things that can easily go, but knowing that I'm of worth, that I'm loved, I'm valued, I'm unique. My journey is peculiar. Yeah, I think I naturally have confidence, and it's not because I think I'm better than anybody, but it's knowing that I'm uniquely made. I think I have that quiet confidence. Yeah, I think that I was going to say organization as well, because I'm very organized too. I get stuff done. But I think that might be firstborn traits. We get things done. On the cusp of perfectionism, which isn't always very healthy, I think excellence as well. Excellence, doing things well. That's the argument. Pardon?
I said that's such a great trait to have.
Yeah, I think that if you give me something to do and it's my area of expertise, I will do my best at it. I get asked to speak at so many, because I speak as well. I get asked to speak on so many different topics. I turn down most because it's not my area. But if you give me a topic on my area, confidence, style, image, personal branding, I can speak about that with complete competence and confidence. So knowing my lane, um, knowing my purpose as well, I think confidence is also not being easily swayed or easily led to just follow trends, to follow what people are doing, to think, actually, was that what I'm supposed to be doing? Is that my path? Is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Not every way is the right way. So I think knowing your purpose, knowing your foundation, and knowing whose you are gives me confidence. Yeah.
And I can tell that you live that because your style is, again, but going back to your style, it's really unique and it stands out and it's always beautiful. That when I sometimes I go to the shops and I see some stuff on the rack, maybe I see a blouse or something, I'm like, I can't even imagine why anyone would buy that. And then the next thing I see someone wearing it, I just styled it so well. So being able uniqueness you mentioned is knowing that you're unique and you're not like anybody else. I think that's incredibly important.
Yeah. I think it allows you to live, because I think we're bombarded with so many images of success, inverted commas, um, and learning that everybody's journey is unique, and learning that not everything you see is necessarily what it is, but focusing on what you're supposed to be doing. Not being distracted. And not to say that I don't get distracted, but it's to know what you are supposed to be doing. I think that's so important. Yeah.
I agree with you. What does success mean to you?
Success to me is making a positive difference in the lives of other people.
I agree. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. But that does not also mean that I do not want to be comfortable. I like nice things. So I'll just caveat that. But for me, success is making a positive difference in the lives of other people. I think that's important. I think that lives on beyond any material gain. Uh, yeah, impacting people's lives positively.
I love that. Something comes to mind that Maya Angelou said. She says, people will always remember how you made them feel.
Yeah.
And that's true. Being able to see people to the point where you invest in their lives, I think that's, I agree with you that that is success.
Yeah.
That our purpose must tick three boxes. Um, one is that it blesses the people in your space. And
Yeah.
is that it glorifies you. And the third is that you grow in the process. Rather, it's God I meant to say, and then it grows you in the process. Have a light and you're shining for nobody to see but yourself, then you're not really being of much use to anybody.
Yeah. I think that we live in a world that's very me obsessed. Uh, and I do think that we're becoming lovers of self. And I think that it's good to it's good to take care of yourself. You can't pour from an empty cup. But I think that you also have to think about the impact on other people. What are you doing to enhance anybody else's life? Or what are you doing to bless your generation or the next people that are coming up? I think that's really important. So I've mentored for about 20 years, and it gives me great joy, great fulfillment. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's really cool. What's one life lesson you're currently learning? Or the most recent life lesson that you learned?
That's a very good one. It's not business related.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
I would say to mind my business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I think sometimes And this is to do with relationships. Sometimes you love people a lot and you think that you're helping them. But sometimes that's not always the case. It's hard to articulate it because it's quite fresh. Your intentions are noble, but sometimes when you love something, sometimes you have to let it go. In that, so as a big sister, you're kind of like mother hen, but you also have to realize that part of even being a parent is that, okay, you've invested all this in them, but you also have to learn that time to let them fly and let them go. Does that make sense? You can't, does that, yeah, so you can't mollycoddle, protect, yeah. So I think I'm learning that it's not natural to me because as a big sister, that's my natural instinct is to be protective. It's to, yeah, it's just to be, yeah, like that. But you have to also learn when to let things go.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think for those of us who do that, when you mentioned mother hen, I feel like I'm a little bit like that with my boys, but I have to intentionally step away because I know that the best and most impactful life lessons are learned during or after challenges or pressure, So I've got to be intentional in stepping back so that they can feel that pressure and learn their lessons themselves and not me do the thinking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can't be easy, but I think it's very important. I think you also have to trust yourself that you've instilled so many values in them that they'll take that going forward.
Exactly.
And they're adults, they're grown. And I think you can use that in many capacities. So that's definitely something I'm learning and I'm trying to remember to implement it. Because there's one thing learning something. Have you implemented it? I think implementation is so important. You can acquire as much knowledge or life lessons, but do you actually implement it? Have you implemented it? So yeah, but I'm learning that and it's very unnatural for me. But I'm trying to implement.
As time goes on and you grow, it'll get easier, and then you'll meet another lessons. The lessons I learned most recently has been that although we live in this big old world, we all live in our own tiny little worlds. And what's going on in my world is not the same as what's going on in yours. And that I see life and I navigate life, and the way that I interpret what I see and experience is based on what's happening in my world, which means that you and I could be looking at the same thing and having two completely different experiences. What it's done for me is it's really helped me in the area of relationships. So I'm blessed to have really great relationships with pretty much most people in my space, if not everyone in my space. But I think it's also because I've been really intentional over the years about creating a boundary line by practicing authenticity, so that that line either repels the wrong people or attracts the right people. So I'm learning now, and one of the most powerful lessons I learned last year was that because we all live in our own unique worlds, I need to be gracious to people who see things completely differently from me. So there's a relative of mine that whenever they come to my house, which isn't very often, I literally start forgiving them before they even show up. Because, like, oh, you told me that's 12? All right, then. Oh, bless. They're not. Because you're like, okay, I know you're going to get on my nerves, and I'm going to forgive you ahead of time. And that was what I would do until I learned this new lesson. And it's really made me more gracious towards people like that, because I just think, I don't know what's happening in your world. I don't know what hurt is going on in your world. I don't know what, pain, what disappointments. I don't know how your childhood affected your adulthood. And so I've got to allow you to function and operate from your space in a way that's normal for you, and know that there's nothing that you're doing that's intentionally directed at me. It made much sense there.
No, you did, you did, you did. I think it's about learning that everybody's not you. And Also, what I say is I'm trying to learn to give people the benefit of the doubt, make excuses for people, show them grace, whichever term you prefer, and understanding that everybody doesn't see things the same way that you see them.
Really, really well. You've put it so perfectly well. That's exactly it, is making space for people. They're not in my world, so that's fine. And another lesson I learned was I later found out to be a quote by Tony Robbins is nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. And that really has helped me. It helped me because 2024 was a tough business year for me. And going through it and picking up the lessons and extracting the lessons showed me that nothing has meaning except the meaning you give. It just allowed me to treat all of my experiences as pure data, neutral. They're neither good nor bad. It's my interpretation of it that determines if it's good or bad. That read me.
Now, that's good. I think that's really good. You're always learning. And yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you want to be remembered by? If I asked you, what would you want, let's say another 100 years from now, they talking about Joy, Potential You, the founder of Potential You, what would you want people to be able to say about you?
I'd first of all want them to smile when they thought about me. I'd want them to think that I helped women to feel confident in their skin through style. I would want them to think she was authentic. She lived what she said. I would want them to think she helped me be the best I can be. She helped me see my value and my.
No, that's beautiful. Oh, and then final thoughts before we sign off. This has been great before we sign off.
Oh, yeah.
If you could give one woman who is struggling in her career or she wants to go into the same industry as you are, what advice would you give her?
I would say I'm launching something very special next month. Follow me on social media, Potential Youth Stylist, and I can help you. So that's what I would say.
So,
Well, I'll take care of you. Get in contact with me. Got 16 years experience here. So yeah, that's what I would say.
so it's at Potential You. Any spaces or dashes or just Potential You?
Potential-u.co.uk and then Potential Youth Stylist on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
This has been great, Joy.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you. It's really nice having a conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on, and I wish you a wonderful rest of 2025.
And you too. Thank you. Wishing you good success.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.